Hey everyone, it's Lena Banks, certified financial planning professional and small business coach based here in Austin, Texas. Welcome back to your financial therapy for the week. Thanks as always for tuning in. Before we get started, I need to ask you, if you're enjoying the show, please like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you're listening or watching. I'd really appreciate that. So today we have a returning guest, a friend of the show, Ms. Pamela Torres.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome back. So today we are recording your origin story. And this is something I like to do with some of the guests on the show, just to give us all an idea of how we all dealt with money growing up. I think it's really instructive that the way that your parents and your family dealt with money typically causes or lends itself to some of the way that you deal with money when you're an adult.
Yeah.
And so I'm fascinated by people's stories, so I'm excited to hear yours today.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So my first question is, what is your money origin story? How did your family deal with money growing up? Did they talk about it? Did they show it to you? Were you a budgeter?
Yeah. Well, shall I introduce myself?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Let's run through that again.
Okay. I'm Pamela Torres. I'm the founder of the Offline Social. It's a social network where we meet in real life.
Yes.
So we do. We host events here in Austin. So you meet first and then you match later. So we do what dating apps do, but backwards.
But backwards. And, it is very exciting what you do. I think it's important to discuss that the in real life meetings are necessary to actually creating a real relationship.
Yeah.
But apps, I think, are kind of a place where a lot of people end up chatting endlessly, and so I really appreciate your events because they do help you just get out there, start meeting people, and just start connecting with people.
Yeah, I think just the goal, I don't want to extend this, but the goal is to make people do the things that they love so they find their people. It's like, and then when you do the things that you love, you end up like having good connections with friends and maybe you find love.
Yeah.
It's not like the more you pursue it, the less you get it. So like you just like do the things that you love, go out, have fun, and then love will find you.
I love it.
Anyway,
the offline social.
Offline social. All right.
Okay, so let's go back. So I also want to you to throw in some of your professional experience because you are a professional who deals with money.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm an accountant.
Yes.
So my background is accounting, and I did that. Like, I have a bachelor's, I have a master's degree, and I decided in 2024 that I no longer want to do it. So that's how I started doing things on my own.
Yeah.
And I mean, the background that I have helps me a lot with the things that I do.
Yes.
It's obviously super handy to know your numbers. So
I love that. Know your numbers. That's literally on my consulting website. Know your numbers.
Know your numbers.
Yeah.
And so it's key. And then I do like numbers. Like I like investments. Like I'm into stock. I'm into options. I love that rush on checking the graphs and all that. Like I feel like my mind is creative, but like numbers can be creative at the same time. And there's a strategy. When there's a strategy behind things, I love it. That's like I'm passionate about those things too. So yeah, I mean, if we go back to my origins, I grew up when we were like my household was well off. So my dad had a business. And then he was also a professor. So he was a part-time professor, like a couple of hours, but then he was a full-time business owner. And back in 1993 or so, there was economical crisis in Mexico. I grew up there. I was born and raised, and we lost almost everything.
Oh, wow.
So it was the house we live. We have to sell it, and I was like 11 years old.
Oh wow.
12 or something. It's like, and I feel like it was a very crucial age because you are in puberty and then just moving to teenagers, and then you move around these social circle.
Right. You're
And-
just kind of coming into your own self.
Yes.
And then something drastic happens.
And then something drastic happens, and then I'm the middle child, and I feel like that also, and I'm the only girl, so
Okay.
I have two brothers. And now that I'm a grown up, the way that I remember things are so differently than the way my brothers remember.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
interesting.
like yeah. Now that we have other problems, like other family problems, we are sharing more stuff, and we're
Right.
like, oh, I didn't remember that. Like, of course you didn't. Like, I was dealing with it. But anyway, I feel like that is like a scar that I carry. So I went to be in a good economical position with my family to not having that, but still having to cope with people in that. So there was a lot of like embarrassment.
Oh, yeah.
Or it was weird, but I feel like something that helped me and something that was frustrating. Hopefully my mom doesn't speak English, so that's good. But I feel like I saw her suffering a lot for not having enough money, and in my mind I was like, why is she not working?
Oh, that's
You know,
interesting.
so it was my dad with the entire pressure. And we were grown-ups, like she doesn't really, like she could do stuff
Right.
in my head. Because I remember being super frustrated of not having the possibility to bring money to my house
Right.
because I was a child.
And you're like, wait, why isn't she?
Why is like she has everything, all the tools, and she's crying, but she's not acting on it.
Mm.
It was very frustrating, and I remember that like very vividly. So I think like I grew up with that thought that like, why is she not doing it? So my perception of that was like, she's weak.
Oh.
And she's a great person, like
Yeah.
she's my best cheerleader, and she's obviously focused on, like she tells me, you don't have to be like me, you know, like, and I feel like I grew up with that, and it's also like traumatizing, but anyway, I feel like that's how I grew up. So I grew up like exposed to have it and then not have it,
Yeah.
and then being frustrated by a grown-up, like I'm thinking like she could do something, and so I was like,
what
yeah.
is the contribution? Well, so let me ask you this. Did you see, I'm assuming, but did you see your mom contributing around the house, around the home? And what did you feel about that contribution before your dad kind of lost the economic standing?
I mean, it was good, you know, like she was a great mom. We were eating well, you know, like she was doing her role pretty good.
Right.
The frustrating part is like when money wasn't there, it was like, well, she should take action,
Yeah.
you know, like, and I feel like she's a smart person.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't know, she got blocked for some reason. And I'm not judging any housewife or anything like that, because kids,
Kids take work.
exactly,
Right.
takes work. And
But no, I totally get where you're coming from, because I think it's, it is the frustration of anyone, I think, in a marriage. And I don't know if you ever have talked to your dad about any of this, but to have an able-bodied partner and to, when you're down on your luck, not have them jump and step up to the plate, because that's what you have to do as a financial partner in the very first place. Like,
yeah,
it's hard, but there's also a lot of circumstances that probably we don't know about as far as what was going on
Exactly.
in her head.
yeah,
It's so funny that you say that, because my mom was kind of the opposite and still like apologized. She's passed away, but she apologized about having to go back to work because she was a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
We went through a very similar sort of situation, and then she ended up going back to work and was very kind of absent for most of my kind of later years of childhood. and was just very upset by that because she had had the experience of being the person who was there when you got home from school and everything like that, right? So, of course, from my perspective, I was never like, oh, that's terrible that, you never stayed at home. But I also, was like, oh, it would have been nice. That would have been nice if I had gotten, what my older siblings got, So it's a very interesting dynamic. I think it's like you have to make those choices.
The part here is that my mom wasn't happy. So to me, it was like when everything was working well, everything was working well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this part when we lost the house, it's like all of these, she was not present.
Yeah.
So
maybe she didn't know what to be doing.
She was not dealing well like here. Like she still was like cooking, whatever, like taking us to school, like, but she was like crying all day. She was depressed. So we had a depressed mom at home, and then I felt that I was responsible for it. I don't know, for some reason I took these like rescue kind of, and even though like I was little, I was like washing cars, like with my friends, and then we were selling hot dogs with the neighbors.
This is interesting because I've always thought of you as very industrious. Like you always got something going. Even starting the offline social, like I told you, I think it's genius to have something like that available to people. But this feels like maybe where it stems from, this idea of, I can always do something new. I am the work product. I am the productivity. I can make things happen. And I think that's super awesome. It's very business oriented. But there's also that whole like, okay, I have to make sure that I am contributing, that I'm, well resourced and everything like that.
Well, there's something that comes to my mind right now, and when my dad lost his business, he went full time to be a professor at the university. So his plan was, I get the full time job, and then I make sure all my kids have college. So I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay for their college because I'm gonna be the professor. They have to have. They can have scholarships by being my kids.
That's awesome.
So my university was free because of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
The thing is, like, I didn't get to choose what I have, like what I wanted to do with, because I didn't want to be an accountant. But like that was like, business was where my dad was teaching, and that's where my dad was teaching. I was in School of Business. So I had access to that school for free. So, like a very small, ridiculous fee.
That's so interesting.
So that was his plan. So he was like, okay, I'm just gonna. So the way it worked in my mind, and I actually like, I'm in the process of flipping it, and I think I just flip it.
Yeah.
Is that for many years, having your own business wasn't safe. Mm-hmm. So it was very risky. And I'm pretty sure like a lot of people that are listening to this podcast can relate. Like you want to do something on your own, but you just don't have the guts because you were taught that only a job can be stable.
Right.
And only a job can be, support your life.
Right.
But actually like having your business can make you to do the jump. Like if you want to be super wealthy, it's through a business. It's through investments.
Working for yourself.
Exactly. I think it's different, but it's a lifestyle and it's not for everybody.
Right.
But I feel like getting to that, like you were not born to work with somebody, but still like because you are traumatized by some stuff. Like, and I feel like what was shown to me in my childhood is like, yeah, my dad has a business and we were like doing great, but that can crash.
Yeah.
And what gives us stability and then what really like, put us back was a job.
Yeah.
And So it's really hard to get out of it.
Sure.
Because it's in your belief system.
Sure.
So you have to get out of that belief system. And if you are an entrepreneur by nature, but you still have in your belief system that it's very risky, you have to stay in your job until you feel you're free now.
Hallelujah.
Exactly.
So I do think that, it's so funny. I was talking to another guest about this and just the idea that money gives you, it's not about having a ton of wealth necessarily. It's about just having enough to have the freedom to jump and make that choice. And, we've talked about before that even though you're not set in the accountant space anymore, having those skills is a great foundation for doing what you're doing now. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really interesting that, basically what you're saying is money is not the end-all be-all, but how you deal with money, how you think about money, how you think about making money, or who's going to make you the most money is what the mindset is that needs to kind of shift.
I think so, and it has to be not very important for you. You have to get to the point, and obviously, like, having money is way better. I
Yeah.
choose that, right?
Money is better.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a great tool, and you can help people, and you can, contribute a lot. But I feel like when you get to the point that you are no longer doing things for money, because I think like when I started, I was trying to get rid of my corporate job, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to. I feel like my goal was like I just want to make money, but I don't want to make money working. Like I need to work for myself. So I feel like I went through this journey where I was like I had to be doing like something super successful, and I'm gonna push and I'm gonna pitch, and it's like I was like I gotta make money with a business, and so my mind was make money.
Yeah.
Instead of have fun, do something that you love. Like I feel like the approach
it's the same
was
approach
different.
with dating. You're flipping the script. I love it.
No, I feel like the purpose is you do the things that you love, but you have to be able to recognize opportunities. Because you start doing the things that you love, and then doors start getting open. Mm-hmm. Because you do the things with passion, and you don't have any expectations. Like this business that I started is the most random venture that I've done. Like I had a sewing studio, I have a children's brand, and I was like pursuing stuff, and I've been in magazines or whatever, but I was very stubborn with having certain amount in the bank. It's like I was not enjoying it.
Yeah.
I was not enjoying it. My goal was money.
Yeah.
This thing that I'm doing right now, I love it. I just love, like connecting with people. When I go to my events and then I see people laughing, and then you tell me that you went out with somebody, with a friend, or it's like I'm like, yeah, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And
it's fulfilling your purpose.
It's fulfilling the purpose, and I know I'm not where I want to be yet, but I feel like it's getting there. And even if it doesn't get there, I feel like something that every person and every entrepreneur should feel is like when you get to the point that like I no longer feel embarrassed of failing, because I know I have the certainty that something is gonna come up in my mind, and then I do the next thing.
Yeah.
And whatever, before I was so embarrassed of failing, not selling. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Or sometimes I have bad events, and I'm like, you know what? The people who have to be in that event meant to be there. If I'm not longer pushing. Like I just do the things that I feel like I take action all the time. Like it's action.
Yeah.
But honestly, like it has to be from a point of surrenderness, I think.
Yeah. You don't worry as much about the outcome as you do the process. the journey of it. I mean, and I do think that that is kind of the whole point of, honestly, this show, is to do something that I think is necessary and interesting in my life, regardless of whether or not it actually produces the millions of dollars that I would like to have.
Yeah, because for you it's therapy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's great.
is the topics that you enjoy.
Yeah,
You invite people that you like.
yeah.
It's, you're
And I
curious.
learn about them. I
Yes.
think it's so fascinating. And, I think, the key thing about finances and money, and like, I just so appreciate you sharing, because that feeling is a feeling that so many families have had. That feeling of being up and everything's great, or then being down and like embarrassment and shame, and feeling like, oh my gosh, something we've done has lost it all. But it's not really. It's something that happens. Things happen like that in life.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is that, are you resilient? How are you resilient?
Mhm.
How does that work? I think your dad even going out of his way to be like, I have a plan. This is the plan, and setting you guys up for at least a foundation of moving your lives forward is, that's what parents are supposed to do, make the best out of bad situations. So, and I think if I'm hearing right, it at least set you up to have the freedom of mind to choose differently, to choose, oh, you know what, I've been so focused on the monetary aspects of work. Now I can actually shift gears and not worry so much about that aspect, and worry about doing what I enjoy and what I appreciate. And I do believe that you're right. Good things do come to you when you're living in your purpose. And so that's really exciting. So I want to ask the next question.
Uh-huh.
What is your money moment in life? So, meaning, what do you think you would do differently? Or that you think you really just like dropped the mic, that was amazing, I did such a great job, I got to tell everybody about how I managed this financial situation?
I mean, I've been doing a lot of like stuff that I shouldn't be doing. Like, like debt.
Uh-huh.
There's, I have debt. Like, my master's, I still like, why did I do that? Why did I thought that I need a master's degree? I don't know.
It's okay. If it's something you value, because I'm the same way. Both of my parents actually had master's degrees, and so I just felt like it was an achievement thing, but also for myself, it made sense for my career moves. But I think it's a really good question to ask yourself, right? Like, why am I doing this? Is this something that I value and I'm going to utilize? Or is this something that I feel obligated to get because of something that's in my past or my family or something around me?
I think like it was obviously my choice, but I feel like it was coming from being a kid that I wanted to be seen. So like, oh yeah, look at me, I have a master's. Like, I feel like it was more for not for myself. It was more for like, I have this style. Like, it was more like I need to have that validation.
So like, this is a perfect example of maybe doing things for the wrong reason. I mean, right? Like, how much money could you have saved? And I don't mean to like stick the knife in, but like, how much money could you have saved? I think so many people are in that very same position, maybe not even with a master's, but maybe with a car, like many different things, where we are spending money to be seen, to be validated, to be acknowledged as something, when we're enough on our own, That said, I do want to say, I feel like for some people, it is a valuable investment. I know it was a good investment for myself, but hearing someone else's perspective is very interesting because,
I mean, to me, like, don't get me wrong, it actually helped me a lot with my English. It's like because I had to work with a theme. I had to write infinite essays. I wasn't like, this is my second language. It's like, it was incredibly hard for me.
Right.
So that challenge positioned me in a better, like, confident side. But I don't think it was worth
the money.
Yeah. So I think, like, I could have done something else.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, well, why I didn't do, like, I don't know, like, a 3-month course in Harvard,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it was hard, not due to you.
No, you know what? And that is the biggest point, I think, to this, that what we're saying is not that you shouldn't invest in education or shouldn't invest in something, or even shouldn't challenge yourself, because it sounds like it was a challenge that helped you trust and grow yourself, that you maybe wouldn't have gotten elsewhere. But maybe if you're going to make the investment, have a plan for how you're going to pay for the investment afterwards. Would you say that that's kind of a lesson? Because, what they typically say is that, if you get a master's or a college degree, you should be able to pay it off within the 10 years. With whatever your salary is going to be. But if you decide you're not going to be an accountant anymore.
Exactly. Like, and I knew it. The worst thing is, like, I feel like I knew it. Like, I said, okay, at least I have, like, a competitive resume.
Yeah.
So if I have to go back in the market, that's my insurance. But that's not a good mindset. Because you have to believe that you're gonna make it doing the things that you love. Not like I think, like, my backup plan, like, it's a wrong mindset that I had. It's like, because I'm projecting myself on going back to work because I already, it's like, it's like, I feel like very wealthy, famous people, they have no choice. They just, like, superstars because, I don't know, like Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Like, she was homeless. And
so
she
it's like
was a
make
great
or break.
Singer. Exactly. She was a great singer. She happened to be in the right place at the theater when they were casting, and then she's an amazing singer. Her life was crappy. She didn't have access to college. Like, she has no choice other than do the things that she loved.
Yeah.
Where, and I think, like, that's very interesting when you have options.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people.
You operate. So I think it's interesting because it's like fight or flight, right? I think you operate on. You're a fighter. If your back is against the wall, you know yourself that you are going to be the person who succeeds in the end. You're coming out. Yeah.
This is
happening.
Yeah.
I think for some people, they need that safety net, Pamela. Giving them the safety net.
I know.
But, yeah. I do think, both things are valid. I think it's so fascinating. I feel like I'm a little in your zone, because sometimes it's like you just have to power through and get it done and know that you're going to do the thing. I mean, if you do all of the and I don't know, and like, that's the death of your dream. But I can totally identify, and I have to say, my mother, like, bred me to be the safety net girl. Like, I need the safety net. But the good thing I think about it is that either way, the point is, pursue your dreams, pursue your passions, figure out the way, because the alternative really is death. I have to say, like, the most unsettled and unfulfilled I've ever been in my life was when I was complaining about where I was at instead of doing something about where I was at or how I was feeling, or asking myself, okay, why do I feel this way? Why am I so, like, unsettled and upset? Okay, I got to do this. I got to go here. Ironically for me, one of those things was going back to school, because I was like, oh God, I've been, waiting all this time, and like, oh, I can't go back to school because I'm, doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, wait, hold on. And I got into a night classes and started doing it, and made the time to do what I knew that I wanted to do. So, I think it's that's really interesting. Everybody's different, but I think pursuing the passion is super important.
Yeah, and I think everybody has like being an entrepreneur is not for everybody.
Right.
I definitely agree with you. Like you have to have the safety net, and then some people just like the adrenaline of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like when you do the things, and some people still don't know like what do I supposed to do, like what is my passion, you know,
right.
like that's even but I feel like you have to start exploring, and you have your job, and when people said, oh, I feel so tired all the time, I'm always thinking inside my head, it's because you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. So and I'm like, you have like those people, because I feel like, yeah, I'm tired, but like I'm not tired working. Like,
yeah, I've got energy to do the things I love doing.
Yes.
That is so true.
So people who are always tired,
yeah,
need to reflect on what the hell are they doing, because that's a very good sign on you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
That's
you're not
really
in the right place.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're not in the right place. Try to find your place.
Your energy is not being
fulfilled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think that's an excellent bit of feedback. We're not saying going to school is a waste, but we're saying
it's not.
But we're saying
no. I mean,
not
it was a great experience.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
I connected with great people. We
Yeah.
traveled together. It was
Yeah.
a great experience. To me, it's like,
But the financial investment.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking
and
about.
even though like the debt is just a number.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like if you think about like the pure concept of everything, material stuff, money, who invented that? I don't know, like sometimes I get so philosophical about everything, and I'm just like, oh,
It doesn't matter.
life is a game, you know. But
that's the sure sign that you know how to make money, by the way, is when you start seeing, because I feel very much like if you understand how money works, it does become more of a game to you and more fun to you. And that's exciting when you get to the point where you like understand what's going on, you understand how money can work for you, you understand how you can do what you love and still pay your bills and things like that. And there's no like secret sauce necessarily. You just kind of understand the fundamentals of money. And like you're saying, that debt maybe isn't such a bad thing as long as you understand what's going on with it and like why you have it, and you're not just mindlessly accumulating it. So I think it is the knowledge and the information and the understanding that then can settle you, even if you have debt, even if you aren't making enough money in your life.
yeah, and what is enough for some people is it's just a perception.
Right.
You know, it's like everything is a perception, and I don't want to get too like spiritual or whatever, but I feel like we are always where we should be. Like there's always a lesson. Having to go to masters and me thinking that that's what I needed to do, it was coming with a lesson. It was coming with like, but it's just like the way you see things. I don't want to go back and leave anything. Like I feel like part of enjoying everything is just like accepting that all of the decisions that you make, when you make them and you're like, oh, I regret this, but honestly don't regret it, because you were there because it's like you put yourself there because you needed to learn the lesson there.
Yeah.
Like period.
And it's
with
not
people,
even
with money, with anything.
I think it is important to frame it as not necessarily mistakes, but things that now you think of differently or think of in a different way or would like others to think about in a different way. And that's kind of what the show is about. We don't always make the same types of money decisions because we don't always have the same values or beliefs around money. And then we also don't learn the same lessons from those decisions because we have different ways of thinking about money. But what you can do is relax yourself into the acceptance of I made this decision. What did that mean for me? How did it change my perception of things? And how do I want to do things differently going forward? So that's good.
It's better to have the experience than not having it at all and always question yourself if you should have done that. It's like,
I agree with that, 100%.
and it doesn't matter because you have to have the confidence that everything is fixable. Everything is fixable. Everything is doable. I feel like there's a big difference between being poor and being broken.
Right.
Sometimes you're broken or broke.
Broke.
Not broke.
Nah.
And broken as well.
I love it.
No, it's the difference. Yeah, there's a huge difference. Sometimes like you're not poor, you're just broke. But it's just a stage, and you know how to make money. You know how to get out of it. Learn your lessons. Don't do it again. Just go and keep,
That's
thriving.
That's so true. That's so true. And no, I think you're right. There has to be kind of a sense of optimism, and that no mistake, no failure is going to be that big. All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 to being most positive, how positive is your outlook about your personal finance? Sounds like you're pretty optimistic.
I'm always optimistic by nature.
Yeah.
Even if I'm doing like, oh, I have $10 in the bank account, and I'm like, yeah, but I'll get $10,000 next month. Like
I'm gonna make this happen.
I'm gonna make this happen. I don't know. I feel like I'm optimistic by nature, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm the perfect person. No, I cry every other day. But I don't know. Like I've changed so much. I feel like money is. I have a different perception of money now. Like I don't. I mean, I still have those dreams and that greediness, like I want to make it big, But I don't know, like I feel optimistic on the things that I cannot be in a different place. Like I really like my life right now, and I'm not close to my vision board. Like I have in my vision board, I have like a lucid car, and like all these like fancy house and whatever. But like the house that I have right now, my car, like years before, I wish I had them.
Yeah.
And
life is good. Life is good.
Life is good. I'm optimistic. It could be better, of course. I think everything always could be better.
Yeah.
I'm learning my lessons. I'm on my own entirely. Before I have like my ex-husband, it's like it's different. So it's an evolution of things and the way you see things, the way you see money. Like that what they say, like money is energy. It is energy. It is energy, and you attract certain things. I think the problem is that we see money as the only what is it like? Is like the currency of abundance, but like it's not entirely that. We have to pay attention on other things that makes us wealthy. Like there's other ways, like when somebody gives you something, when somebody invites you somewhere. Like that's another type of like it's not always the monetary. It's like,
oh gosh, there. I feel like the gratefulness principle, I try and say every day things that I'm grateful for, and it does feel like I have more abundance in my life when I am thoughtful and thankful and grateful for what I do have already.
Yeah, because they're supposed to attract more of that.
Yeah, exactly. And, who knows if it's a placebo effect or not, but I do feel great.
Good.
I feel good.
I went on a date the other day, and then a guy, we were talking about F1 or something, and then I was like, yeah, I haven't missed F1, because for some reason, like somebody has a extra ticket, and they call me and then I join, last minute or something. Like for some reason, I haven't missed it, and I don't have to buy it. I love it, but
love it.
Today is like too expensive. I don't know if I will put that, but and he was like, oh, that's what you do with guys, and I was like, you know what? That's a very, and I was like, no, I feel like. I went to a concert the other day, the Teddy Swims, because somebody invited me, a good friend, a girlfriend, like she just moved from, out of town, and she just have this extra ticket. She thought about me, and we went.
It's beautiful.
You
It's wonderful to receive and to give.
Yes.
And when you are, anybody critical of that?
I know it's
No.
ridiculous, and I was like, that is a weird outtake. Like, you can invite people over, you can get invitations. Like, I don't know. It was like, to me, it was like, no, I feel like I get invited to things, and I'm very grateful for it, and it's not my goal to. I actually, like, guys don't give me stuff. Like, I've been thinking about it, like, should I start doing it? Give me something.
Hey!
No, but I'm not, but it's not like, it was bad.
I don't think that's that. I think the energy that you're describing is a very, like I said, a giving and a receiving energy, not a I am, taking from you or I'm trying to get something from you type of thing. I mean, that's.
No, and now I'm more like, before I was more like, no, let me pay you. No, if somebody invites me, now I take it. It's like, because I know, like, I can pay back somewhere, like, somehow, or I don't have to, like, I have to not block that person because that person is giving something and that person is going to receive double. 100%. When you give, you receive.
I love that.
And if you block that for that person, that's selfish. So I'm not like, okay, I'm not going to block that person's path to abundance. So I'm going to accept it. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, thank you. I will go with you. I'll get you drinks. So,
Well, and I think that the what you're describing also is so reciprocal. I don't believe there's a bone in your body that doesn't take whatever you've been given and give yourself, to whether back to that same person or passing it forward. So, I feel like when you're living in that energy of I can freely receive and I can freely give. And it's wonderful, and it's an exciting adventure with people who you can trust to be reciprocal.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. So, haters. All right. So, if you could change one thing about your finances, what would it be?
I mean, I need to pay my debt.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, pay my debt. Like, that's first. Like, the first, windfall of money that I receive, I'm just gonna, not all, because I feel like you have to have debt, but the highest interest, I'm gonna, yes. And then and some my student loans, like, I would just get a couple of them off, and that's what I will change.
Yeah. Well, it is the number one thing that all Americans have. We all share it in common. We got a lot of debt, so
it's not entirely bad strategy, honestly.
It's not,
because when you get
depending
money,
on the type of debt.
Yes, because when you get money, you don't pay taxes for that. So just pay interest. So just need to make sure that the interest you pay is lower than the taxes.
Did you hear this?
Yes.
This is the accountant talking.
So so it's like, if you have a loan that is 7%, it's good. 10% is good, 13% is good. So it's just use that money, and debt is good.
It is good in the sense that it both helps you invest in various different things, and also, like you said, just like from a very strict tax and money management perspective, it's probably good to have a little bit of debt.
Yeah, it is good.
So
it is good.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Pamela,
You're
for
welcome.
coming. This was excellent. I so enjoyed talking to you and hearing all about you. I mean, this is really great. I really appreciate you. And thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Thanks for having me.